To all my creators, all my new music execs, as you build this LLC, many of you are not unlocking the true potential of your LLC and what it can actually do for you, so you can build on it, you can expand it, you can scale it. As creatives or people being in the creative industry, we really don't understand what we're utilizing inside of the LLC. You see, there's not enough OGs in the game that's really expressing to the youth how to use this thing. We here in 2023, we've had to build these things from the ground up. And even though there's plenty of information out there, there's not enough information out there to make it make sense to creators and artists and street execs and all this stuff to make all of this make sense for the music industry. And that's what we're going to talk about today right here on the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham. Look, we got to unlock the true potential of your LLC. Now, you may feel like you might have wasted some money or some time, and maybe you did. I don't know what process you took, but I'm going to tell you we can still utilize what you've already started. Let's dive in. All right, now our first question we got to ask is, who are the parents of the LLC? Now, this is you. Well, this is you. You're going to create this child, this no-name child that doesn't have anything, a social security number, a name, or nothing. It's just a baby. All right. And we got to give it an identity before we start to unlock this child and make it do stuff. OK, but you are, in most cases, 97% of the time are going to be the single member owner of this particular LLC when you're starting out. You're probably not going to have a partner unless it's maybe an artist duo. Maybe. I don't really suggest you all come together on LLC because just in case you disband, it's going to be a headache to break this thing apart. So, you know what I mean? In many cases, it's just going to be you as a single member LLC. Now, once we have that established right here, we can move in and create the identity. We got to give it a name. We got to birth it in a state, which we'll use the state of Georgia here. And we're going to give it an SSN that is called an EIN in the business world. So Make Money Records LLC was born in the state of Georgia, and we gave it a brand new EIN. So now it has a base level identity. I'll go more in depth in that in the 60-day record label course. And then in our next slide right here, which is the NAICS code or number, we got to give this entity something to do. We got to make it do something. And in that case, it's going to be a record label, but it will be classified as a record production and distribution business. See, the thing is, we're going to tell the Secretary of State that that's what we do. We're going to tell the bank that that's what we do. And the lender, that's what we do. And the IRS, that's what we do. I've been through this before on this channel. Our code is 512250. All right. And we're going to spread that code all over the place. Now, once we do that, we have unlocked to the United States, at least, that this is what this company does. And this is what it is. This is where it's from. And this is its name. And it's officially open. All right. But now we have to put it to work. So what does it own? It owns copyrights, trademarks, and sound recordings. And whether that's impossible to believe that, oh, is that all that it owns? Outside of actually having inventory like T-shirts and merchandise or gear like recording consoles and interfaces and computers, this is pretty much it. Invisible pieces of paper to things that you can't see, like a song unless you put it on manuscript paper, or trademarks that you can't really touch unless it's on something, or sound recordings that you can't really feel unless you can't really feel sound recording waves. You can't feel the sound waves. So it's got to be in something tangible like a CD, a vinyl, a cassette, or whatever like that, or it's going to be on a hard drive. But the thing is, it owns things that doesn't really cost much to store or hold. Okay, but it costs a lot of money to appreciate these assets. Now, I want you to remember that word because these are called assets in your business as we go further in the show today. Now, here's what I see a lot of you all doing wrong. We built the LLC, great, but the only thing you have in the LLC is the cash. You're putting your copyrights, your trademarks, your sound recordings, you're putting them all in your name, right? Even when you build the LLC, even when you have the LLC, you're still dropping it in your name. We don't want to do that. We want to put it inside of the business because now we can truly unlock what the LLC is going to do for us. And it is to protect our assets. See, we can go out here and do stupid things and frivolous things by ourselves and get us into a lot of trouble. But what happens if we put a lot of work into these musical assets and we own it and someone has to come against us with something? We're going to be in a lot of trouble, which means we have a lot of risk, and we're risking all of this right here. See, how does it make money? Well, these three things right here are going to make us money in these ways: through sound recordings, musical compositions, physical digital merchandise, and leveraging the brand. All right. And that brand is going to be through the trademark right over here. And of course, the copyrights will be the musical composition. And then the sound recordings will be this phonograph P in the circle right here. That's going to be our sound recordings. The trademark right here is going to be posted on our physical and digital merchandise with our name and our logo and all that stuff, our word marks and all of that. We're going to trademark those things. And we're going to make assets, which is cash, from the other assets that we own in the business. And all of this will trickle down into the business. That's how we're going to make money with this thing. Well, if we unlock the LLC and we drop all this intellectual property, that's what it is, inside of the business, and then we start making our assets, and we start making money on the assets, and that goes into the bank account, well, then what else can we do? Well, like I said, you want to protect what you own. If you own business assets personally, your risk will be high, which is what I just said. But why? Anything and everything that you own can be used as a means to satisfy a judgment against you in court. And so we got this guy this private investigator looking at you like, okay, we did our research already. He owns all of this stuff that he's talking about in these songs, and he actually owns these songs too. So we can actually go after those songs and we can take possession of that stuff. Right? He's got all the money in his account, his personal account. I don't know why, but we can take possession of that too. So you don't want that. If the LLC owns its assets, then any incident that happens with you is just with you, right? Not the LLC. And if anything happens in the LLC, it stays with the LLC and not you. Now, there are a lot more processes you have to go through to make sure that this happens. It's not complicated. You can do it yourself. It's totally fine. It's just some systems you have to adhere to. I go into that a lot deeper in the 60-day record label course. Now, we're going to use all of the stuff that we stashed inside of our LLC structure for leverage. And we're going to go to a guy like this or a bank and get some business credit or private investment when we need it. All right. This video isn't about it, but now we can unlock the potential of the LLC because we have leverage inside it. And we've done something called appreciating the asset, meaning we made it grow. And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes here. All right. So we go to these two people and we can get some money to continue to build this thing because eventually your W-2 job won't be enough. That's how we unlock it in the other way. But here is the big key to today's video. Can we sell it or partner it? Sure, after it's worth something. All right. We took our time. We built the assets up, the copyrights, the trademarks, you know what I mean? The phonograms or the sound recordings. We built the value of it up, the social value of it up. People want them. They want to listen to it. They want t-shirts with this stuff on it. They want your name on stuff. They want to do brand sponsorships, all this stuff. We can sell or partner with this intellectual property. Okay? So check this out. Here's an example. Copyrights, trademarks, and sound recordings. This is you, and you're saying, you know what? I think I want to sell. You know, I built it up and I need more money. I have plans and goals and I'm going to risk it all. I mean, you could be crazy. This guy's crazy in this example. He's going to risk it all. He's going to sell to this lady. He's like, you know, I built these trademarks up, but I need more money to do something bigger. Okay. And it's pretty much of a headache to maintain this. Let me talk to you. I know you're really big with licensing. You know what I mean? Like that's your strong suit. I'm not. You know, let me sell what I have to you. You can do something with it, right? And I can take the money that you give me and I can do something bigger. All right. So she leveled me up with some cash. And here's what I say. I took that cash and I built 3 new artists. But again, these 3 new artists that I signed and that I built, they're okay, but they're not great. And they're approaching the end of what I can do with them due to bad management, not enough drive from the artists. Their songs are good. And yet again, I'm not a great licenser. I'm a great builder. So here's what I suggest. I'm going to talk to her and I'm going to say, hey, look, would you consider taking the catalogs of these artists and I'll trade you the catalog from these artists for this artist that you have over here because I see that you're not a great builder. I am, but I can do wonders with her that you can't. You're a great licensor, so let's trade this catalog. I'll take her as an artist. I'll build the catalog up of this artist here, and I'll build her into a superstar, and then we can both share in the profits. You can do the licensing and all that good stuff. So I'll trade these people for her as an artist. You can do the licensing for that, and then we'll be good to go. Sound fair enough? Yes, it does sound fair enough. All right, now, we built her up to a superstar, and now we're ready to do our licensing deal. Here's our licensing deal. Here's her as a superstar. Her assets are now worth something, and she can now do something with the assets over here. Right? At the end of the day, this is what begins to happen. We can take the songs and we can put them in the LLC. We can take the trademarks, we can put them in one LLC, and we can take the sound recordings and we can put them into one LLC, and we can get leverage and investments for each one. Now, this is not my infamous parent company example, but I'm just saying we can leverage each one of these assets in a separate LLC with more investment. For this artist right here, because she's gotten so big, what we did was we minimized the risk of each LLC by separating them, okay? Because it was all in one LLC before, and that's just what happened right here, okay? A little bit of an advanced conversation. Now, it can't be this simple, right? Wrong. It is this simple. It's all about when and where you implement these steps to keep it simple. There is an order of operations, however. I go in depth with that, once again, in the 60-day record label course, okay? A lot of this stuff doesn't need to be said on, I'm going to say it, just doesn't need to be said on YouTube. Some of this stuff is just too intricate to give you a cookie cutter version of it. Now, what we ultimately do in this business is we buy, sell, trade, lease, and license intellectual property. That's all we do. Okay, I got another video coming out in a few days that will explain this, but this is all we do right here. Once you understand that that is what we do, then you can go back and you can build several LLCs once you understand how the building process works. I always recommend starting with one. In order to start building, I recommend grabbing the 60-day record label course. This is not a course that is just packed full of information that will make you go do more research. When you start on day one, we're building on day one. We're off to the races. So by the time you're finished with this course, the record label structure will be built. You can actually work it at that point. All right. There's not a lot of fluff in here at all. Just straight information. Do this, 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 this. Set it up. Let's go to work. That's what it was designed to do. If you can't get that, you can always get the book version of it. There's an audio book so you don't have to read. And it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be as in-depth as this. There's way more information in here than it is in the book. But it'll still get you there. All right? Book a call with me. Let's develop a strategy after you get the label built and all that stuff. All right? That label is going to last you for a while. And even if you need to continue to build more LLCs, you still have the information there that can push you forward. All right? Now, here's the thing. If you say, you know what, I'm just going to continue to wing it, I'm not going to really give it no structure, then you set yourself up for a losing situation. But if you do it the right way, it's going to give you more room to grow for your business. You can start to get leverage for it. You can do more deals on the LLC, so many other things. But I hope that I've given you a lot more clarity on how to unlock the LLC's potential. I have a lot more inside the 60-day record label, so I want you to check that out. Because if you make music, you should always make money. Music Money Makers, visit musicmoneymakeover.com, download the 60-day record label, grab the 60-day record label course, book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com, and I'll see you next time. Peace.